Hey students!
Hey guys.
So this is your e-learning video for May 11th, and it's actually going to be a little bit longer than usual because we have a lot of things we want to show you, but it's really, really important that you watch it completely at least once, and then furthermore, you could always reference it if you have questions.
We're going to walk you through a few different documents that are going to be really important. We're going to start first with just the project overview. So what is this Crazy Modern America project that we have been talking about? So I'll just start by reading that first question. This year we've spent our time answering what does it mean to be American every day, whether you realized it or not. And unfortunately, we know that some of our exploration around these issues has been cut short because of e-learning. So really, our goal for this project is for you to explore, as you know, a topic of interest to you. Okay, so that's where we're starting.
And so to kind of contextualize this, you've already picked your topics, right? And you have your groups. And so this project will kind of guide you through your independent learning, but also in structuring a true project and essentially lesson plan. So when your teachers put together lesson plans, they have a number of activities that you choose from, or at least we have, right? We've done a lot. We've covered a lot of ground in this class. So we started with things like raps. Remember those Revolutionary War raps? We've done timelines, the roadmap from Underground Railroad. We've made videos just like this one, worksheets, slides. We've looked at documents. We've done stations. We've done a scavenger hunt, which was wild, and so a lot of integration of artwork, right? And a lot of things. And so really thinking about all that we've done, those are your options, right? You have a buffet of things that you can do and a buffet of options on how you choose to present your project.
Yeah. So the end goal, what you're going to be doing is creating a 30-minute lesson plan about your topic. Okay, so that's going to be the end goal here. Things you need to include: activities to engage your classmates, you choose. So think about what we've done in class and maybe what was most enjoyable to you, or what method of learning you thought was really fun, and maybe that's something that you consider. You also need to hold your classmates accountable. What are your classmates going to do to process and show that they understand the information? And then finally, of course, you need a bibliography with credible sources. So where did you get your information to put this lesson plan together?
And so on this project sheet, we included a general plan of action that we'll kind of go through relatively quickly now, but we have a really, really detailed version on another super important document that we call checklists and deadlines, which will kind of outline the direction and all the things that have to be done, right? So really step one, easy, make contact with your group. Some of the people in your groups you might not have typically worked with during the regular school year. So find a method that works for you. Do you guys want to conference through Google Meets, through a phone call, through a Zoom, through just email, right? Like find a method that works for you and exchange contact information. And then you're gonna just talk about your topic. You know, what is something you hope to accomplish, followed by research, decide what activities, right? So we laid out the process pretty specifically for you guys to make it easy. We know it seems really overwhelming right now, but understand we've really tried to make it as step-by-step and procedural as possible, really to help you guys out. And again, like Mrs. Cottrell said, the end goal is a 30-minute lesson plan that you'll be presenting to your classmates eventually.
Yeah. So we're going to go through the rest of this plan of action really quickly, and then you'll see the next document that Miss S put together that really walks you through step by step, day by day, what you need to do. So the first thing is going to be coming up with an essential question. This is going to drive your lesson. You'll see more what we mean by essential question later on. But at the end of your lesson, your classmates should be able to answer that question. So what do you want them to be able to answer at the end? You're going to want 3 credible sources. .org.edu.gov, or the textbook. We've talked about that throughout the year. You're going to read up on your topic and take notes in your brainstorming document. Your brainstorming document is going to be central. It's going to be an ongoing document where you collect all of the work you've been doing. It's going to be a space for you to work in and add to, and it's really going to be a document that we are consistently checking every day to gauge how you're doing with the work, okay? So it's going to be a really important place for your, kind of like a virtual place to meet. And then the bibliography. So you should start from the top, right? Where whenever you start collecting information, just start making a list of those places that you're getting information. Decide the activities. Think about the things we do in class, and then create. And your activities should be engaging. You might mix and match a few different things, but it needs to take about 30 minutes total for your whole lesson. That includes teaching or giving the information or having students explore the information, and then time for the students to process. That's all in that 30 minutes, okay?
And so kind of like we mentioned earlier, this is a lot, right off the bat, but we're going to spend essentially the rest of the school year working on this project. And we hope that it's actually really enjoyable for you guys, right? Like, you're choosing the topics that you're focusing on, and you're even going to narrow those topics down into really something that interests you. And this is a time for you to play with different topics and ideas and presentation strategies, right? So really, really have fun, and understand that even though you are doing a lot of solo work or group work, and we're not really directing you every single day, right? We're not giving you things to do. You're kind of doing them. Know that you are always welcome to contact us, right? Like, we can conference, we could correspond over email. It could just be you. It could be you and your group, right? Like, there's plenty of options here and kind of room for growth and expansion.
Yeah. And I think too, just on an ending note for this, I think this is something like we've never tried before. So we're really excited about it. So you're really going to be kind of like pathfinders, right? You're going to pave the way for this assignment. It's going to go where you want it to go. And I think it's going to be something really cool that you can reflect back on, whether you're applying to college or trade school or whatever it is you want to do after high school. This is something that I think you can really speak back to, right? Something that you took ownership in. You have a lot of autonomy. So I think it's going to be a really important kind of milestone in your learning. That's what we're hoping.
Totally. And then kind of on that note also, you might notice that we don't have a point value or kind of methodology of grading. And that was actually purposeful, right? Like, we want you to, like Mrs. Cottrell said, really take ownership of this. But understand that success in this project, and success means a lot of different things, right? It means successful communication, product, research, right? Success in this project can really impact your grades significantly, right? And again, we don't feel comfortable assigning a point value because for every single group, this project will look different. But know that this could definitely have a significant impact on that final grade calculation.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a look at this second super important document that we have, and we call it our checklist and deadline document. And actually task 1 is due at the end of the day.
Yeah. So task 1 is going to be, first and foremost, just connect with your group. we've already talked to a few of you about, like, if it's maybe not people you normally talk to, just start with an email. Start with an email about what works best for people. You can exchange phone numbers. You don't have to exchange phone numbers, but find a way to connect, talk about your topic. This is where you start brainstorming, and this is where you start that brainstorming document. What we imagine this being is like, what you could start with, like, what questions do you have about this topic? A lot of your topics are really broad right now, and they're going to have to be narrowed. So maybe think about what got you interested in this topic, what you know about this topic, And then as a group, you can kind of start to talk about the direction that you want to take. But that first day, you're going to be just starting your brainstorming. If you look, we gave you a very specific title for how we want you to title your actual document. So make sure you follow that just so that we can easily check in.
Exactly. And what you'll notice is at the end of each task, we ask that you check in with us. So you could have one person email us every time, but include both Mrs. Control, myself, and your group members, and just say, hey, we were able to talk today, or we weren't able to talk, or this is how our conversation went. And those check-ins are really to make sure that you guys don't have any questions or no issues are arising, right? And so obviously we have 6 check-ins here, but you can email us 12 times if you need, right? Like this is just, the 6 are the absolute minimum version of communication.
Yeah.
And then kind of just, if you want to look ahead, we'll always, in our videos to you guys, we'll be referencing this document. So you're welcome to read ahead to kind of see the direction that this is headed. So you'll narrow down your topic, you'll do some research, and then you'll do some creating things. And then eventually your project due date or deadline is May 26th at 11:59 p.m. And so you have a lot of kind of breathing and wiggle room here.
We're going to also show you the calendar. So the calendar, it doesn't look like there's a lot on here because really you're going to be following along on that task document. That's kind of like your very specific calendar. So this just kind of breaks down what days you're doing each task. So if you look, today is Monday, May 11th. We're rolling out the project and you're completing task 1. Tomorrow, May 12th, you'll be doing task 2. And then you have May 13th as, you know, maybe a day to catch up or work on other things. You can continue to work ahead. And then Thursday, Friday, you'd be working on task 3 and so on. Then we have later on, May 27th, 28th, 29th, those are going to be presentation days. And there's more information on that to come. But you'll have your projects ready at that point, all your materials ready, and you'll be presenting these to the class.
And then kind of looking at that last week of school, quite frankly, we don't really know what's going to happen. Something's going to happen though. So that's kind of where we're at with this project. Again, we recognize that this video was kind of a lot, and you know, some of you guys, we know who you are probably panicking at this point. Have no fear, we're here, right? Like, you can talk to us. If you're having issues with the research, you could reach out to Miss Jacobson, Miss Shaner, or Miss Gruber in the library, and they could all help you, right? Like, you have a lot of resources at your fingertips, even though this is a very independent learning project. So, you know, use those resources and take ownership of it. And really, most importantly, just have fun with it.
Yeah, we're really excited to see what you guys do with this. You've impressed us so much this year, so we're just really excited to see the end product. You guys are awesome, and we're excited to see, you know, to end the year on a really great note with this.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. All right, so if you've made it this far, congrats. You have watched a very, very long video of Mrs. Control and I talking about a lot of work that you're going to be doing, but it's going to be fun and it's going to be great. And if at the end of this video you're panicking, send us an email and let's talk and let's figure it out. Okay? Bye, guys. Have fun.